So we are actually going to start looking at the new ban list. This ban list is a lot more impactful than I thought it'd be. They went ham. They limited and banned a lot of stuff, and also unbanned a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first of all, Moon of the Closed Heaven, Splash Mage, King of the Feral Imps, and number 67 Paradise Smasher all got banned. Now, Dice Smasher we all saw coming. It's a card that doesn't let the opponent play. They usually hit those pretty quickly. And with K9 out, a lot of decks having access to it, yeah, they just didn't want a lot of decks abusing it. Moon of the Closed Heaven, they finally hit her. It took forever, but they finally hit her. Locking out decks getting access to the Fiendsmith engine, which I agree with because I'm a Bakor guy. I like Fiends. I've just hated Fiendsmith because so many decks had access to it because of Moon. And now that Moon's gone, a lot of decks just can't abuse it anymore, which is pretty nice. Splash Mage was an interesting hit to me. Splash Mage is devastating for the Malice deck, and I did not see that coming. People really wanted White Binder banned, which is probably why they banned Splash Mage, just to kind of, you know, how should we put this? Tide over those people, because they probably didn't want to ban White Binder entirely, because once you ban White Binder, the deck's dead. Like you can still play Malice, it just won't be as good or consistent. So yeah, Splash Mage really hurts the Malice deck. You can still play without it, but it definitely hurts. It definitely hurts. And then King of the Feral Imps, everybody kind of saw this coming, because it gives Ryziel and a lot of decks that run rank 4s access to Mitsurugis, and well, nobody likes that. So allowing a lot of decks to have access to Mitsurugis, my god. So yeah, giving those rank 4 decks access to an even more powerful engine, as well as just letting a bunch of other decks kind of have access to it as a crutch, kind of sucked. So yeah, King of the Feral Imps getting banned. Definitely a W, definitely a W. I will say I didn't expect them to hit Moon, and I definitely didn't expect them to hit Splash Mage, and definitely didn't expect them to hit King. I thought what they were going to do is just put Prayers to 1 and Habakiri to 1. But I mean, yeah, looks like it. Next up, the Limited. This is the most impactful part of the ban list for me. This is crazy. EXT to 1. Everybody wanted EXT to go to 1, and now it's at 1. Dormouse to 1. I actually predicted this. I didn't expect them to hit White Binder, but I did expect them to put Dormouse to 1. I did also expect them to put Underground to 1, but looks like they decided not to go for that, which, you know, makes sense. But yeah, Dormouse to 1, definitely predicted that. This one is crazy, and I'm actually going to skip to the bottom of the list here as well for this part. Vanquish Soul Raisin and Stake Your Soul being put to 1. That is crazy. That is devastating for the Vanquish Soul K9 deck, because right now that is the best deck in the format. Well, it's one of the 3 best decks in the format. We're in a triangle format. Like, one deck has a better matchup against the other, which has a better matchup against the other. Kind of like in a triangle, so to speak. The rock, paper, scissors format, which I do tend to enjoy those types of formats, because they also, those triangle formats, whenever a deck is so focused on its bad matchup, it can actually lose out to some rogue decks as well, which is pretty cool. I actually did go, my last regionals that I went to, I actually did see someone playing K9 Art Mage, which was genius, because you can actually go into the Power Patron Fusion with the K9 cards, because they're all different types. So very, very genius play there. But yeah, but Vanquish Soul Raisin is on the summon. You get to search for any Vanquish Soul monster, and then you get to pop anything in his column. The guy is stupid good, and them hitting him really, really hurts the deck, for sure. Stake Your Soul as well. It's very good Ash bait for the deck, and also it just summons from deck, which is very, very nice. I don't think Stake Your Soul being the one hurts the deck that much, because you can just replace it with things like Reinforcing the Army or Pot of Prosperity, stuff like that. Like, still stuff to bait out Ash. And also, Stake Your Soul requires you to have another monster in your hand to reveal, so it's a tit-for-tat thing. But yeah, Vanquish Soul Raisin getting put to 1 really hurts. Lacrima being, the fusion being unbanned because Moon got banned, so that kind of makes sense. Give Fiendsmith a bit more stuff back. Link Karibo getting unbanned. That's interesting to me. That one and Summon Sorceress. So Summon Sorceress, I know she got an errata. I'm not too familiar with what the errata is, so if anyone wants to tell me, I'd appreciate it. But Link Karibo being unbanned as well really helps Yummy, because as you see at the bottom there, Obedience School did get put to 1, which, thank God. Did not think they'd hit it that quickly, but I'm so glad they did, because that card, you Ash it, you Impulse it, and then they just have the 3rd one in their hand anyways. The card is crazy. So, yeah, Link Karibo and Summon Sorceress being unbanned is pretty interesting. Herald of Arclight being put to 1 doesn't really do much. It keeps your opponent from putting out 2 if they're playing Yummy, which can be a bit oppressive, but usually they're just ending on 1 anyways. They just won't be able to go into another one unless they recycle it, so it's alright. Zodiac Dryden getting unbanned, that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. So that'll definitely help the Lunalights for sure, in my opinion. I actually wonder if Zodiac Lunalight could be a thing. Like, I know some Lunalight stuff lock you into fusions, but for the most part, they don't. So you could actually play a Zodiac ooh, actually kind of cooking here for a sec. So yeah, that definitely seems a bit interesting. Zodiac Trident being unbanned definitely helps the Lunalight deck for sure. I think that's the deck that it helps out the most. Crystron Inclusion. Crystron getting hit, finally, thank you. I did not expect them to hit Inclusion, but it is such a solid hit for the deck because that card searches any Crystron card, chat, if you're listening. It hits any Crystron card. And then you can banish it from your grave to special summon any Crystron from your grave. So even if you stop them from getting searching off of it, like with an MST or something, because we know that Magnificent deck's coming out, they still get value off it. It is such an oppressive card, and I'm so glad they hit it. Granted, I think they also should have hit Sulfador, personally. I think Sulfador should have gone to 1, just because Jokel plus Sulfador is so oppressive, because Sulfador can special himself out from grave anyways, so you don't need the inclusion, as well as he dumps 2 on summon, and Jokel doesn't negate the effect of whatever he summons. So that really, really sucks. Other than that, Crystron Inclusion getting hit, I'll take what I can get. The Crystron deck definitely need to get hit because that deck is oppressive. Obedience School, we already talked about. Stake Your Soul, we already talked about. Solemn Judgment. This, I did not see coming. Solemn Judgment going to 1. It's definitely interesting. And also, if you think about it, it makes sense because I've seen games be decided by Solemn Judgment. You normal summon a Raisin, you link summon a Snatchy or whatever, they judgment that, you're just sitting there, and you're just like, well, I wasted my normal, and I don't have any other plays here. Pass turn, and then they just win off the judgment. So that's definitely interesting. Makes me wonder why they put it to 1, though, because it's not something that you can consistently search out. So maybe they're thinking of another archetype in the future, maybe, that can go into it a bit more consistently. I'm not quite sure. But yeah. Next up, Branded Fusion going to 2. We all know why. It got a structure deck. It's got more support coming out. They want people to play the deck. Yeah. That card did not need to go back to 2. It really didn't. The card's so stupid and so oppressive. And then Unlimited Glow Up Bulb. Did not see that coming. Masterpiece going from 0 to hero real quick. I did not see that coming either. True Draco is definitely going to be coming in. I think Masterpiece is going to get back on the list very, very soon. But they are putting out more Draco Slayer stuff, so that's probably why he came off the list, because they won't be able to play the deck. Morphing Jar, I definitely see why it came off the list. It's not really doing much, but at the same time, I can definitely see people doing some weird combos with it, like making it to where you can't draw and stuff like that, kind of like with Trickstar Reincarnation and stuff like that. Also, it'll kind of go pretty good in the Aeneacraft deck, in my opinion. So, yeah, we'll see about that. Phantom Skyblaster going to 3. That's interesting. Snake Eye Ash and Poplar. That's a pretty big one. Original Civil Spoils is still banned, unfortunately, so the deck is never going to be as powerful as it was without that spell, because they definitely need that one spell. But Snake Eye Ash and Poplar going to 3 definitely helps the deck. Dragonic Diagram going to 3 as well with Masterpiece. They really want people to play those new Draco Tail, or the Draco Slayer cards. I'll just say that. Also, now that I said that, Draco Tail Draco Slayer could actually be a thing. Now that you think about it. Anyways, Lightning Storm going to 3 doesn't really change too much, I guess. And then Zodiac Barrage going to 3 also doesn't really change too much. Zodiac Barrage wasn't really doing anything huge, but again, definitely opens up some more possibilities of the Lunalight deck. So yeah, that's basically my analysis of the new ban list. My overall analysis of it is that I think it's the most impactful list that we could have had. I think it's an amazing, amazing list. Some people are saying it's bad. I think it's pretty decent, personally. And, well, I also think that it's everything that like, if you're asking for anything more from the list, I think you're just kind of reaching. Like, it's the best we could have expected from Konami. It's actually more than I expected from Konami, so I give this list 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.